few months ago, I used to commute to work by train from a small town to the city every day. Although the train station was always crowded, I rarely engaged in conversations with my fellow commuters. I usually kept to myself, lost in my thoughts or engrossed in a book. One rainy evening, feeling exhausted after a long day at the office, I boarded the train and found an empty seat toward the back. Across from me sat a man who gave off an eerie vibe, dressed in a long trench coat with a hat pulled low over his eyes. Trying to be polite, I nodded at him and greeted, "Hello there." To my surprise, the man didn't respond. His cold stare sent a chill down my spine. When the train arrived at my stop, I gathered my belongings and prepared to exit. Just as I was about to leave, the man abruptly stood up, pushing past me and nearly knocking me over. He hurriedly left the train, disappearing into the crowd. I couldn't help but think that the encounter was strange. I muttered to myself, pondering what had just happened. Upon reaching my apartment, I climbed the stairs to my floor, feeling tired and drained. As I opened my door, I caught a glimpse of myself in the hallway mirror. My heart skipped a beat when I noticed a fresh, muddy handprint on my shoulder, as if someone had deliberately touched me. I recalled the enigmatic man on the train, and a wave of anxiety swept over me. Could he be responsible for the muddy handprint? Filled with dread and hesitation, I quickly locked my door. I decided to take a shower, hoping to wash away the unpleasant encounter from my mind. But even as the water poured over me, I couldn't get rid of the sense that someone was keeping an eye on me from behind the darkness. I couldn't get a sleep that night. Every creak and groan of the old building sent my heart racing. I was still haunted by the man's icy gaze, and I struggled between guilt and terror about not telling the police about the unsettling meeting. Days turned into weeks, and the incident on the train continued to haunt me. I found it difficult to concentrate on my job because I had a persistent feeling that someone was watching me and waiting for the right time to strike. One evening, as the sun began to set, I decided to research recent crimes in the area. I searched the news, hoping to find information that would alleviate my troubled mind. To my horror, I stumbled upon an article about a series of unsolved murders, all involving victims pushed onto train tracks late at night. Reading the chilling details, my heart sank. The victims matched the description of the man I had encountered on that rainy evening. The realization hit me hard. I had come face to face with a serial killer. Fear consumed me. I knew I had to take action, but the thought of contacting the police made me hesitate. Would they believe my story? Would they think I was crazy? Days turned into sleepless nights, and my paranoia grew with each passing moment. Outside my door, I could hear footsteps, which served as a continual reminder of the threat. I couldn't trust anyone anymore. One fateful morning, as I anxiously exited my apartment, a strange odor in the hallway caught my attention. It was a sickeningly sweet odor mixed with a metallic tang. Panic surged through me, and I hurriedly searched for the building manager. Together, we traced the source of the smell to the apartment next to mine. Using his key, the manager unlocked the door, and what we discovered left us frozen in shock. The stench overwhelmed our senses as we stepped into a horrifying scene. We discovered a horrifying scene inside that apartment. The walls were splattered with blood, and a lifeless body lay sprawled across the floor, a horrifying display of violence. It was the neighbor I had seen on the train, his life tragically taken by the hands of a merciless killer. The building manager immediately called emergency services, his voice trembling as he relayed the horrifying discovery. I stood there, my mind racing, fully grasping the gravity of the situation. I had unknowingly crossed paths with a dangerous murderer, narrowly escaping becoming another victim. As the police arrived and began investigating the crime scene, I described what had happened on the train and the lingering anxiety I had experienced ever since. They listened attentively, piecing together the information I provided. It became clear that I had encountered a serial killer, and the encounter had left its mark on me. Days turned into weeks as the investigation unfolded. The police worked tirelessly to bring the killer to justice. I cooperated fully, providing any additional information I could recall. Guilt gnawed at me, knowing that my initial reluctance to share the encounter may have delayed the investigation. Finally, a breakthrough came. The police identified and apprehended the serial killer. It turned out he had been stalking and preying upon unsuspecting victims for years, his crimes concealed in the shadows until now. The community let out a collective sigh of relief, grateful that the nightmare was finally over. But for me, the mental scars remained. The encounter had forever changed me, leaving me haunted by what could have happened. I made the decision to leave the town in an effort to find comfort and a new beginning, but the memories of that terrible night persisted. Now I can't help but look around me with caution anytime I'm in a crowded area or on public transportation. My once complete faith in strangers has been destroyed, and it has been replaced by a persistent discomfort. I've had to learn the hard way that danger might be hiding in plain sight, and that we should never go against our gut feelings. To me, this story serves as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can exist in the world, cautionary tales urging us to be vigilant and trust our instincts. For me, they are a constant reminder never to underestimate the power of a chance encounter, as it may hold the key to our survival.